Do you like D&D, Richard?
I
I
just
do.
watched
Yeah.
Private Dick
I've played old
Guard
Baldur's
Jason.
Gate. I play all these. I play
What?
all those kind of
Come
games.
on.
I would love to play it. It just
I'm not
Time is
partial
the
to
thing.
D&D, but yeah, no, it is a fun game.
yeah.
I love D&D.
Masterpiece. 10 out of 10.
Mm.
Notes.
No notes.
Hey RJ, it's your turn for the eulogy. Go. It's your
Oh,
time to go speak on behalf of Rick at this funeral.
Rick was a coworker. He was human male. Well, debatable. The human part, not the male part. Well, I mean, you know what? Hey, I don't know if vampires have a gender binary or not. Maybe they don't. If any supernatural creature wasn't going to have one, it probably would be vampires.
Yeah, there's no way he's anatomically correct.
Right. Yeah, no, there's like I'm imagining like the thing that comes out of the alien's mouth in Alien, except it's Rick's smaller Rick's head, and that's what his penis is.
Okay.
I mean, his body's right here. We can probably look.
Yeah, we
if
can check.
want
It's
to.
open casket, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Sorry. I have to show you this. I'm so sorry.
No, we
I
don't
just
want to
went
see
on
his
to-
dick. We were joking, Bo. Jesus.
No, I know.
That's incredible. Yeah. Anyways,
wow.
Rick's dead.
That's beautiful. I'm glad you turned this into what his penis looked like. Thank you for the beautiful eulogy.
Penis D.
I'm not gonna pretend like I know Rick well enough to know what he would have wanted beyond like money, but I think it's safe to assume he would have wanted that too. I guess.
You're probably right.
Oh, I can't talk about it because I'm devastated that he's not going to be around anymore.
Oh, well, here's the cool thing. He's not gonna be around anymore, so we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Celeste, you want to say a few words for our buddy Rick?
As few as possible, if you could.
Rick was the only one amongst you that was competent, and he wasn't that competent. So
This is very true. He was the most competent.
Yeah,
If we could say anything, he was the most competent.
Yeah,
That's
he
true.
was.
I mean, he's the one who's dead, but
How'd he die?
yeah, private dicks.
RJ got all the answers when he talked to the coroner. How did he die?
Yeah, how'd he die?
RJ?
so you know, like Rick like really loves home security,
Yeah.
and you know how he goes crazy with like the different types of stuff he builds like to keep his house safe.
Yeah.
So he built this like
Nice.
huge turret system and mounted it all outside of his house.
Right.
And while he was testing it one day, a home invader raped him to death.
Oh, so the second he turned it off,
Yeah, yeah.
so it turns
Yeah.
out he was right the whole time to have this whole system.
Yeah, no, I mean, I never questioned that. I mean, and of course, you know, his biggest fear is what got him in the end.
It's usually what happens.
Home invaders and rape.
And rape.
Poor Rick.
Look, it's in my top 3 of things that I like. Home invaders and rape are definitely in my top 3 of like what things I don't want to happen.
Yeah, third one's
Right.
like
Sure,
getting eaten by
yeah.
piranhas. I don't want to die that way either. But that's the
That
top
is in
three.
Yeah.
my top 3. Not
Yeah.
the home invader, but my top 3 ways to die. Number 2 is ironically. So
Yeah. Hang on, how do you ironically die?
Try to protect
Well,
yourself
you,
the entire time. And
you get really obsessed with protecting your home from invaders, and then while testing your system
And get
and turning
raped
it
to
off,
death.
you
Mm,
die at the
mhm.
hands of a home invader. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm afraid to die by a piranha breaking into my home and raping me.
and that's everyone's biggest fear. So rest in peace, Rick.
It's provable, yeah.
Rest in peace, Rick.
Pour out a frog flavored coffee for Rick.
Pour out what was he drinking? Those
Pour
energy
out-
drinks at the
Oh,
end?
liquid death. Or,
Yeah,
no,
pour out
those-
a liquid
yeah.
death. That's right. Pour out a liquid death.
isn't liquid death just water?
in honor of Rick, we liquefied him.
And turned him into a sports
Pour
drink.
him out on his lawn where he was sexually assaulted until dead.
Where he can never be sexually assaulted again. Because apparently the test worked out really good. Nothing's getting past those guards now.
Yeah, it obliterated his body for 3 hours after the invader left. As soon as it went back up, it just kept firing at him.
That's how he got liquefied. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And RJ could not walk past that opportunity. He's like, waste not, want not.
No, I scooped him up. It was gross, but I got most of them.
Well, that's
Yeah.
thoroughly disgusting. I like it. to celebrate Rick's death, I solved us a case, I think. I got us a case for...
Celebrate? You're
Yeah,
celebrating
celebrate.
his
This
death?
is how I celebrate his death.
Celebrate?
I research...
That home invader, did he happen to be about 5'8" with a beard?
No.
Well, then there's no way it could be the 5'4" Richard.
Yeah, that's how you know I'm innocent.
Says you, RJ.
Hey, I am perfectly average, miss. All right?
No one has ever argued that. But
Thank you.
Aren't you only like the same height?
RJ's a
Yeah.
little bit taller than me.
Negligible.
It is negligible.
No, yeah, I mean, I verified.
Well, I
it's pretty much the
suppose
same.
it is 1 inch, and I guess it depends on who you are, whether 1 inch is negligible or not.
Hey, 1 inch is a lot.
1 inch is enough. Trust me. Trust me.
It's not enough.
It's enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Just enough.
An elite team of private detectives.
What if balloons are aliens? Maybe that's the key component we're missing.
Cover-ups.
John's guilty.
Mysteries that need to be solved.
Maybe Mormons need mountains.
Richard, shut up.
All right, Rick's gone. We gotta look towards the future here. I got a new case. This is both for unethical and private decks because it has both sides to this. So I thought it was a fun case to do for all of us.
Ooh, here we go. Huge.
Celeste, I'm assuming will know this one, but we'll see if the other two. You guys ever hear of Dr. Sam Sheppard?
I'm really bad with names. Maybe.
Perfect. You might know it as we go. It's an old, super famous true crime case. Yeah. So if you guys don't know, we'll go through it, and you guys will probably go, "Oh yeah, that."
Okay, ready. My body is ready.
My body.
Samuel Holmes Sheppard. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio, on December 29th, 1923. He was a nice addition to the Sheppard family. Dr. Richard Allen Sheppard and Ethel Edith Niles Sheppard had 3 children, and this little Christmas present was their youngest.
Huh.
He was a good-looking kid. He had a dimpled chin. He was athletic, 6 feet tall, 180 pounds. He was a varsity football player, basketball player, and track and field star.
A penalty already?
Pause. A penalty is when RJ flashes his homemade dick flashcards. Continue.
A penalty.
Oh, I didn't expect to see like drawn from real life on you there.
Drawn from, like,
To scale?
yeah, I hope not. That's like the definition of bite-sized. That's
Looking for a snack.
That looks perfectly okay sized.
that's the exact size of condoms Richard buys. Perfectly okay.
He had to get them custom made.
So what if they make you take a mold of your dick? You got to wait 3 months. You get them and they fit.
Yeah.
Hands sewn together.
Yeah. Hand sewn. Yeah.
Yeah. Made of a baby's foreskin.
Oh. Oh, God, that'd be so crusty.
Just
Oh.
straight out of the mouth of a rabbi. All right.
Ew, gross.
Oh.
That's not the first time we've talked about that on the show, which is
I know.
disgusting.
Nope.
I did not do well when I learned that was a thing, and I learned that over in New York.
When I got circumcised.
Yeah, when he got circumcised, I was there for it because it was weird. He's just like, "Can you please make sure that you're going to be a part of this? I don't think I can go through it by myself." I was like, "Sure."
Sam Sheppard was described as friendly, outgoing. We could keep talking about dicks for half an hour, or we continue. I don't know.
It's what Rick would have wanted.
Yes, that is true. If Rick loved one thing, it was completely derailing the show.
Yeah.
It was his favorite thing.
You're not wrong, though. That's just a random thought. Anyways, he was high school president for the last 3 years of his high school years and voted most likely to succeed by his senior class. He had a high school sweetheart. Her name was Marilyn Reese.
She's dead.
She was a year older than Sam, and she was introduced to him by Sam's older brother, Steven, because Steven and Marilyn used to date, which I find fucking weird that you just picked up your brother's ex-girlfriend. It's a little weird to me.
He wasn't using her.
That's true. And they introduced each other. That's the other one. You're pimping out your ex-girlfriend to your brother. So it's all weird. Marilyn is also a good-looking kid. Popular, long, dark, brownish hair with a slim build. 5'7", 125 pounds. Since she was a year older than Sam, she went off to Skidmore College in New York.
Skidmore.
Yeah. Is that
What
like
a
a...
dumb name.
That still
Isn't that where the
exists.
whole town killed that guy?
No.
Ken Rex McElroy? I thought it was Skidmore.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, it could be.
Skidmore.
Yeah, so...
Sorry, derailing.
No, it's all good.
Paying my homage to Rick.
As the senior year started to ramp down, Sam had been offered athletic scholarships throughout the country, but he didn't want to take any of those because it was World War II time, and Sam wanted to head overseas to defend his country. Dr. Dad had a different idea. He thought that Sam could better serve his country as a doctor, so he should probably stay and go get an education.
Oh, just let the man shoot some krauts. Goddamn.
Yeah, exactly. Overbearing parents, God.
Not wanting me to go to war? Damn.
Sam ends up staying, not taking an athletic scholarship, and going to Hanover College in Hanover, India. Sam and Marilyn are still dating, and when he's at college, he comes back for holidays in like the summer, and that's the only time he really gets to see her. And he gives her his fraternity ring or pin, sorry.
Ooh.
Yeah, just to
Take
like
him to the next level
I
and
know,
let him
we're-
in jacket.
God.
I am not gonna fuck anybody else. Here's a pin. That's what he's
Huge. She's
yeah.
been pinned.
Yeah, you've been pinned.
Mhm.
So after his undergrad at Hanover, he goes to LA to attend the LA Osteopathic School for Physicians and Surgeons. He gets above average grades and becomes an osteopathic surgeon. Sam and Marilyn remained a couple the whole time, even though, like I said, they only saw each other in the summer and holidays. This was 1945. So when he's in school in LA, he asks Marilyn to come to move to LA with him. And as soon as she gets there, Sam and her get married, like day of, if not day of, couple days in, at the First Hollywood Methodist Church, which doesn't sound real. Like the First Hollywood Methodist Church sounds like it should be like a fucking TV show. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't sound real. It sounds like
Yeah.
we're Catholics for the rich and famous. Come check us out. Who's in our congregation today?
Hang on. So they wouldn't have had sex before this point, would they? If they
Uh,
would...
I think people
Well,
have sex.
she may not have.
Like I don't know about like maybe, but I just think that they probably banged it out hardcore on March break and holidays and shit like that.
You know who has had sex? That guy who killed Rick on his front lawn.
At least once.
Poor Ricky's
Verifiably one time.
You know what the best part is? He'll probably listen to this in 10 years and be like, those assholes killed me.
It is a grave overestimation to think that he cares that much.
Yeah, that's true.
It's probably true.
So yeah, they get married. They decide they want to have a kid right away. And Marilyn gets pregnant. 1945, loses their first child. They try again. It's not until May 18th,
They
1947.
never found it?
Yeah, they never found it. I'm sure it's lost to the bio waste somewhere in New York City. I guess this would be LA. So they had their first kid on May 18th, 1947, Sam Jr., or as they like to call him, this is fun for RJ, Chip. His nickname was Chip. Can you fucking believe it?
Great.
We're dealing with chips.
Was it short for Chipley?
And it was
I'll never
not.
get over that.
It was Sam. It makes more sense with Sam even. So yeah, Chip, little Chip. So Sam and Marilyn once he graduates, they move to the suburbs of Cleveland to be near his family in Bay Village, Ohio. This is 1951.
Oh, Ohio.
Ohio, yeah. He rented a home when they first moved there, but Richard Sheppard Sr., Sam's father, lent the money to buy their own house. They bought this beautiful white frame, 4-bedroom, 2-story Dutch colonial house just off the beach of Lake Erie. The house was about 60 years old when they bought it, but they modernized it as soon as they got there. It sat on a high cliff, 400 or so feet above the Lake Erie shore. There was this big-ass stairway that leads them from their deck to the beach below. The couples love sports. Marilyn got into bowling and golf. She won a bunch of trophies in bowling and golf, which I find fun.
Chip is a nickname for Junior. Sorry.
Sam still loved his active sports, but he
Chip
also
off the old block. Yeah.
bought...
Yes, exactly.
exact chip off the old block.
Sorry, I had to follow that stream of thought, or I never would have.
That's fair.
I got the tism.
So yeah, he buys a boat, big 25 horsepower motor. They both love to water ski. There's a photo of them out there side by side water skiing. If you want to go look at it, you can. Sam's parents lived across the street or somewhere close by. I don't know exactly. I can't really figure out the geometry of how their geography of where they live.
Oh, yeah.
At what angle were their houses
Yeah.
relative to each other?
Were they
Okay.
perpendicular or parallel? Anyways, they live close by. One of his brothers lives close by too. It's within 2 houses. It's not like they live far away. His second brother lives in like 10 minutes away in a different neighborhood, but they all live close by to each other. Sam gets a job at his dad's hospital, the Bayview Hospital, which I find pretty funny that his dad like owned the hospital in this little suburbs. So yeah, his dad owns the hospital, or is at
That's
least
pretty good.
That's interesting. I didn't know people owned hospitals, but I thought that was like some big corporation or some shit. But maybe in the 50s, one guy owned a hospital. I don't know. Sam and Marilyn's house, actually all their houses were like 5 minutes away from the hospital. It was a perfect situation. They lived a pretty good life. Sheppard's had a female dog named Coco. Coco was an Irish Setter Doberman mix.
Whoa.
Couple sources, a couple different people say different stuff about this dog. Some people say this dog was like, it barked all the time, especially with strangers around. And other sources are saying that the dog was a terrible guard dog, never barked, just like would let anybody walk in. So I don't know how this dog really is, but this family just sounds like a normal upper middle class family. It's not really the case at all, like most families. Sam always cheating on Marilyn for years and years, and he didn't care to hide it. He never really hid it at all. He'd tell his friends that Marilyn knew that he's cheating, and it's not really cheating because they had an open marriage. She was cool with it. He would also tell his friends that Marilyn had her own sexual problems, and while she was dealing with them, she was just cool with him having an open marriage. You go bang everyone. I don't really care. I have sexual
I
problems.
don't believe it. I have sexual problems. Name
To
them.
her friends, Marilyn would say that she's thinking about divorcing Sam for all the fucking.
Cheating.
So I don't know. I think the second one might be true.
I agree.
Sam is openly banging a lady named Susan Hayes. She was a med tech at the hospital.
Called it.
They started banging in 1951. That's basically when he got his job there, like right away. So you know when he was away in college and when
Called it. It's easy to put a pin on your girlfriend back home when you're going to college in India. Less hard when you're going to college in LA.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. This guy was shameless about it, which I find crazy. Like he'd bring her to parties and stuff. They went on vacation, him and Marilyn, and he like dipped out of the vacation with the kid to go like see this girl at a certain point. He brought her to a wedding. He brought his little mistress to one of their friends' wedding as his date. Openly. Like he did not. She obviously fucking was mad about it because
Wait, was she there?
no, she wasn't at the wedding. He left her at home with Chip, and she just took this lady to a wedding. Like all their friends were there and shit like that. And like, who's this? It's like
Can't
Susan.
leave me home with Chip. Chip sucks.
Yeah. The absolute nads on this guy.
I know.
This is giving me I'm so fucking bad with names. The TZ Borden series. The wife and the dude who was banging the guy's wife.
Oh God, I don't remember. I don't know. He has 10 seasons now. I can't remember.
Wait, no, he came on your show and you guys did an episode on them.
Oh yes, the Australian dudes.
Yeah.
Whatever that guy's name was. Yeah.
He's reminding me of that.
Yeah,
'Cause he
somewhat.
was a
I guess.
doctor too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. This veers off in a different way. Like you'll see how this becomes both of us.
Did
both...
he also demand that his mistress sit and watch him play the clarinet badly?
That's true. I forgot. I don't mind if I do. And just pops on his clarinet.
So good.
Yeah, she's insulted. She found out because she intercepted a love letter from Susan. I guess one of Sam's secretaries at the hospital
Intercepted.
opened up a letter, and she just told Marilyn. Terrible
Well,
secretary.
she's not a friend. Yeah.
But I mean,
Conflict of interest.
I don't know. Like this guy's kind of sleazy. He's probably just like, just leave him already. He's a piece of shit. See. Anyways, like I said, many of her friends said that she was thinking about getting a divorce. So sometime in late March 1954, Marilyn gets pregnant again.
Oh.
According to their minister, Sam and Marilyn were ecstatic about having a new baby and were bragging about it to him.
I don't understand that. Why? Oh, back in the day. Okay, never mind.
It's in the 50s. They're talking to their...
Yeah.
We're very happy about this. I don't know if I should bring this up now because I don't think I wrote it in the script, but I heard about it when I was listening the other day about something else. But apparently there was rumors going around that Sam was pissed because he hung around with too much. He was like infertile because he hung around the x-ray machine too much or some shit like that. And he knew, and the fact that she got pregnant made him think that she was cheating. But I only saw that one spot. According to the priest, ecstatic.
That's not kind. X-rays don't make you infertile. It just messes with your sperm, so you have weird babies.
Oh, I guess so. I don't know anything
Was
about
their
it.
baby weird?
RJ speaking from experience.
Yeah. Bo knows. That was another reason I got that circumcision, to get all the X-rays out.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like his sperm would just start crawling up your arm. Crazy.
Yep. Yeah. And that's why I paid the rabbi to suck harder to get them all out. Yeah.
100%.
Okay, so July 3rd, 1954, Marilyn and Sam are having their friends Don and Nancy Ahern over for dinner and drinks. And their kids. Their kids are there too.
Delightful.
After dinner, in the Sheppard screened-in porch, the two couples watch the sun go down, drinking and laughing, having a great time. Marilyn kind of sprung this dinner on Sam, though. He was kind of pissed about it. He had a long work day, came home to a room full of people. He kind of just wanted to relax. He says that later. Don Ahern, after they're laughing, having a good time, he brings his two kids home, puts them to bed. Don comes back over to the Sheppards to have a few more drinks. Meanwhile, Marilyn puts Chip to bed around the same time. Chip's bedroom was just adjacent to Marilyn and Sam's, so if he ever needed anything at night, the 7-year-old didn't have far to go.
Ugh.
The four decide, now the kids are in bed, they decide they want to watch television together. They didn't really have a choice of what to watch. Their TV only had 2 channels.
He's a doctor. He can afford more channels than that.
In 1954, I think there were 2 channels.
Yeah, I think there were too. Yeah.
Oh, well, then all the TV.
There
You made it
is-
sound like just their TV sucked.
No, that all TV sucked. So they slap it on Channel 2 and they watch the 1945 classic Strange Holiday. I'm going to play you a clip of it right now.
Oh, even
Oh,
better.
sick.
Strange
Yeah.
Holiday is a movie about a guy who goes out fishing by himself in the woods, leaves the city, comes back in 2 weeks.
I bet he didn't catch much fishing in the woods.
Fascists are in charge of America. I see what you did there. This is the snore fucking fest they were watching.
No, snore fucking. Is that like when you molest people in their sleep?
Is it? Yes.
I'm assuming you know.
Oh, snort. Yeah, okay.
You guys can see that.
4,000 views. Not enough.
There wasn't much we could
Underrated.
do about it, was there? Are you crazy?
This man looks like Charlie Sheen.
No, you're not crazy.
It does look like Charlie Sheen.
It is Charlie.
Someone
Yeah.
out there! Let me out of here! Let go of me, you fool!
See, I thought
I had
Charlie
enough
Sheen
to
had
figure
aged
out this
badly.
thing to
Actually,
you.
he's
If
aged
this is a
very,
jail, get me
very
a lawyer. What am I being held for? What are the charges against me? Get me a lawyer! Get me a lawyer!
Well? Stevenson. Ah, yes. Bring Mr. Stevenson in.
Why are things vaguely in Russian? Like,
Are you in
the
charge
peripherals
here?
of the screen.
Yes.
Well, there's been a terrible mistake. I've done nothing. Will you please tell me what this is about?
One moment. Seated. Now then, Mr. Stevenson. I understand you insist on having a lawyer.
Certainly. It's my right.
Is it?
Well, you know mighty well it is. If there's some sort of criminal charge against me, I have a right to have a lawyer.
Right. What right are you talking about?
You're obviously some sort of police official. And you very obviously think you're doing your duty. But let me tell you, a horrible mistake has been made. I'm not a criminal. I'm John Stevenson. I work for the National Manufacturing Company. Call Chief Alden. He'll tell you.
You tell us nothing. The man is of no importance.
No importance, the chief of police?
Chief of what? The guns?
He's just realizing he doesn't have any rights anymore, guys.
Hmm.
Isn't that
Whoa.
sad? It is a fucking boring ass movie.
Oh, wow. I just got dumber.
It's about an hour long. It's boring as fuck. I tried to watch the whole thing. I couldn't do it. I hated it.
What's it called again?
Strange Holiday. Sam falls asleep is what I'm saying. He passes out watching this fucking movie on their daybed, which I love. They keep calling it a daybed or a couch.
Daybed.
Yeah, I pick a daybed for this. Fuck the couch. It's called a daybed. It's funnier to me. I don't know why. So yeah, he just stayed, he went to bed. The other three finished watching the movie, and Marilyn walks her friends out of the house at around 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And then she goes upstairs to bed. Just a few hours later, at 5:40 a.m., Sam calls his friend and Mayor Spencer Houck. Mayor Spencer was also a neighbor of theirs. Sheppard and his wife Esther were good friends with the Sheppards. They had a little kid named Lawrence who sometimes played with the younger Chip. So Houck answers the phone from Sam and he says to him, Sam says, "For God's sake, Spen, get over here quick. I think they've killed Marilyn."
Wait, what?
Yep, he just 5:40 in the morning, random call from Sam saying, "For God's sake, Spen, get over here quick. I think they've killed Marilyn."
He fell asleep to a boring movie and woke up to his dead wife.
Correct.
That movie must have been really boring.
He's got a
Nice.
yeah. This is so boring. I'd rather kill someone than watch this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, it happens. Sometimes you just like, you sit down and you start watching Ken Burns, and then you wake up sweating with your hands around your wife's neck.
If I had $1, if I had a ruble,
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Houck was on the safety committee for Bayview or whatever, so he called the police right away, and they head toward the house. The first person at the scene was an officer named Fred Drenkin. Patrolman Drenkin finds blood spots all around the house, and it looks like the house had been ransacked, but like no forced entry anywhere. It just looked like, I don't know, drawers were pulled out and some stuff was tilted over. The Houcks, Mayor and his wife,
Like a guilty husband ran around sacking his own house, even.
could be. The Houcks show up a few minutes later. Sam's brother Steven shows up a few minutes after that. Esther Houck runs upstairs to check on little Chip. He's sleeping, still in his room, hasn't moved. Officer Drenkin goes to the master bedroom and he sees Marilyn dead and beaten on the bed. Steven runs into the room to check her pulse, so he busts past the cop just to see if she's alive, which she is not. Her head was bludgeoned brutally. After the autopsy, it was determined that she was hit, I seen two different numbers, 27 times or 35 times over the head with an unknown blunt object. Not only was there blood spots throughout the house, Patrolman Denkin noted that the room was covered in blood spatter, like everywhere. Rage-filled murder is what he said right off the bat. Sam, when officer got there, he was just sitting downstairs in a chair waiting for help to show up. He didn't have a shirt on. He had sweatpants on. One of the knees on the sweatpants were covered in blood.
Grey?
They were gray.
Oh, I wonder why.
Yeah, his knee was covered in blood, no shirt. He was soaking wet, like he was drenched from the water.
What
The
water?
water. What water?
Because he lives on the beach. So we haven't gotten to that part of the story yet, but he's drenched. He lives on Lake Erie.
It sounds to me like he just watched a really boring movie.
Yeah, me too. Although they didn't notice right away, some things were missing from the house. Sam's fraternity ring.
No.
Yeah.
Not
that.
the ring.
A set of keys and Sam's wristwatch. Like I said, the house looked ransacked, but like in the nicest way possible. So like one of the medical bags that he had was tilted over, like tipped over, and everything was on the floor. But there was nothing missing except for what Sam said was some like morphine pills that he had for emergency in there. They were gone. The drawers were pulled out, but like they were pulled out of the dresser, but like stacked nicely. They weren't like tilted over and everything on the ground. You can just pick them up and put them back in. And there's no mess. You know what I mean? Coco's nowhere to be found. The dog. When they do find Coco, and I only saw this in one source, but I saw that Coco had like a weird limp after when he saw him. That wasn't there the day before. Some sort of hip injury. It's all I saw from that one thing from Coco. So I don't know how true that is, but to me, it's like, where was the dog this whole time? Fuck, if somebody comes into my house, my dog's not shutting the fuck up. It's happening.
Yeah.
So at about 8 a.m., detectives and the county coroner show up to the scene. The coroner's name was Dr. Sam Gerber.
Another Dr.
Gerber.
Sam.
Gerber. Let me show you a little. I'll show you a little clip here.
Is he hot? I suppose that doesn't really
There's
matter.
no
but-
way. With a name like Sam Gerber, not a chance.
Yeah, so he's an absolute Gerber.
Gerber's
I love the way you guys say it, Gerber.
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 Gerber. It's the Gerbs.
No, not this again. You tricked us.
No,
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to a different one, but this
Quick!
fucking
Turn it off. I don't want to get so bored that my wife dies.
yeah.
My sweatpants are bleeding.
Okay, here's the.
I'm not near a lake.
I'm so wet. Why am I so wet?
Oh,
here's how Sam describes what happened to him that night. Okay, I'll give it to you from his fucking mouth.
This account of what happened.
Oh.
I believe it was sometime after 12:30 a.m. that Marilyn tried to wake me. I had fallen asleep on the living room couch. I think she asked me to come up to bed. The next thing I knew, Marilyn was screaming or moaning my name. I jumped off the couch and ran upstairs. I thought I saw a white form standing in our bedroom. Then I think I was struck from behind and knocked out.
You think?
When I came to, I went over to where Marilyn was. I felt she was gone. I believe I then rushed into our son Chip's room. After seeing him, I came to the conclusion he was unharmed.
Why are you talking like this?
As I came out of Chip's room, I thought I heard a noise downstairs. I spotted a figure near the outside door, and I chased it down the path toward the beach.
This dramatization is fantastic.
I know, it's amazing. I had to show you
I
this.
tackled this individual from behind. Then I felt as if I had been twisted or choked. That's all I remember. The next thing I knew, I staggered to my feet in the water. Somehow I made it back up the stairs. I guess I thought I would wake up and find it was all a horrible dream. All I know is that eventually I somehow realized this was real.
That's the Cole's notes of his idea of what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just go over it real quick again, just so you guys can. So all he remembers is waking up on the daybed, hearing his wife screaming his name upstairs in their room. Okay.
No, moaning.
Moaning.
Yep.
Moaning.
And that's when he said he came.
Yeah. He runs up to go see what happens, enters the room, and sees a white figure. I'm assuming smashing his wife's face in. Stop them from doing it, I guess. He kind of gets stuck there, and then somebody hits him from behind, I guess. So there's another guy, because there's a guy in front of him, and somebody comes and hits him from behind. He says he gets hit.
No, because he could have meant like white figure as in like a ghost.
That's true.
And then it could have been like paranormal telekinesis, the same white figure.
100%. But he gets hit in the back of the head and back of the neck with something, he says. Gets knocked out once, so that's the first time he gets knocked out. Then he wakes up laying on the floor of his room. He checks his wife's pulse. She's dead. Goes, checks on Chip, who sound asleep in his room. Then Sam says he hears something wrestling downstairs, and he runs towards it. He hears the back door open, someone run outside. Sam follows. He runs down onto the deck, down the stairs, onto the beach, has a little scuffle with the guy. Then he gets choked out on the beach, and he loses consciousness again.
He said twisted. He said he felt he was twisted. Like, ka-cha, trying to break his neck. What, is Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bruce Willis.
Jackie Chan.
Chuck Norris is there, just choking him out.
No, Jackie Chan's not white.
He's not a white figure.
He's not a white figure.
So he gets knocked out twice. Second time, wakes up walking through the water. He's freezing. Can't really describe the man he saw. People ask him a lot of questions. What did you see? Eventually, he says that it was a scruffy-haired guy that he saw. And we'll talk more about that, the scruffy-haired guy, in a little bit. But then he goes back into the house. He finds a lifeless wife, bloodied on his bed, checks her pulse again. When he realizes she's dead, he calls Mayor Hauk for help.
He calls the mayor.
The mayor. No police. He calls the mayor.
He didn't call any authorities before.
No, he called his friend the mayor.
What
Mm-hmm.
a wanker. Yeah.
Coroner Gerber looks at this guy, rolls his eyes about as far back in his head as he can. This is the fucking stupidest thing. Doesn't believe him at all. Right away thinks Sam killed his wife. Mayor Spencer Hauk ends up calling Sam's brothers as well as the cops, and they both show up. Both Dr. Richard Sheppard Jr. and Dr. Stephen Sheppard both show up at the house. They're all doctors.
Well, it doesn't sound like Daddy gave them a lot of choice in the matter.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why Stephen's there like right after the cops, because Hauk called them right away too. It's a little weird though. When Steven shows up, he's wearing like day clothes. He looks like he's shaven already. And it's like he's been up for a while. It's only about 6 a.m., a little bit before 6 a.m. when Sam shows up. Or sorry, when Steven shows up.
The old Patsy Ramsey.
Yeah, Richard Jr., his other brother, shows up around 6:37 with his wife. They're in night clothes. Steven and Richard Jr. listen to the story about the intruder and how he's hit on the head, all the trauma he just went through. So Steven says, hey, we got to get you over to our dad's hospital right now and check those injuries out at our dad's hospital. Steve brings them. Steve's wife takes Chip to their house to take care of him. I think this is where Chip ends up staying. It's either with Steven or Richard. It's one of the brothers he ends up staying with for the next 10 years of his life. And we'll talk about that in a second.
10 years.
Gerber,
Well, he's 7, right?
Yeah.
So he went off on his own after that?
Gerber heads to the Bayview Hospital after he looks at the scene and he wants to go ask some questions. He collects all the clothes of Sheppard's, his soaking wet, blood-stained pants, his belt, underwear, shoes. Later the day, police deputize some kids. And I say deputize because, like, why the fuck did they gather like 10 kids to go find the murder weapon and the stolen property?
Yeah.
Like, get in the water, kids. Go see if you can find a murder weapon. Get all the kids in town. So the kids were all deputies that day.
I miss when kids used to actually go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I miss child labor.
Actually, that I do miss. Completely unsarcastically.
Jeremy Hauk, the mayor's kid, he finds a bag with the missing keys, watch, and fraternity ring. The watch had water underneath the face of it and had little drops of blood on it. When confronted, like when asked, like, why do you have water? Yeah, it had water and blood on the watch.
The watch still had blood on it despite being waterlogged.
Here goes. Sam explains that the water under the face was there for like a couple days. He just went golfing with his best friend and NFL quarterback Otto Graham, and they got stuck in the rain. So he loved to brag about his buddies with an NFL star.
Big name dropper.
Yeah. What a tosser.
That's not from when I was down in the water scuffling. That's from days before. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry, guys.
How did the water get in while he was golfing with Otto?
It was raining outside. They got stuck in
and
the
he
rain
put his arms
golfing.
up.
Yeah. Come on. And then the blood, obviously the blood's there when I check the pulse. It doesn't, it's, so what if it looks like blood spatter? Okay. I transferred it by touching the pulse. So that's how he explains that stuff off.
This is how I check my pulse. I go, whatcha?
Yeah. Just spray her hand on it. Well, if it's coming out that wound pretty easy, there's no blood moving.
I'm a doctor.
I'm an osteopath. Back at the hospital, things are moving fast for the Sheppards, meaning they're trying to get a lot of stuff done before the cops start doing these things. So Steven calls in an x-ray tech that night, or early in the morning, I guess, to come take a look at his brother's neck. Steven gets the x-rays and says, Sam has a broken neck, guys. C2's fractured. Okay. Sam's in rough shape. Yeah, that's when he got hit in the back of the head.
It's a lie because it's their hospital.
He got hit in the back of the neck and his C2's fractured. Look at these x-rays. Well, don't look at these x-rays. I looked at the x-rays. Trust me on this. You're not looking at the x-rays. We're good. But he actually showed people the x-rays and there was a broken C2 on those x-rays. But like, they're most likely swapped out because the next two people that do x-rays, no damage at all. But we'll get to that in a bit. So Steve claims that Sam's in pretty rough shape. All the cops could see is he had a black eye. He didn't have any cuts or abrasions. Nothing reported. Just now, he's wearing a neck brace. All right, Sam Sheppard, from this point for a little bit, he's wearing a neck brace. And I'll show you a bit. Yes, Celeste.
Look, I have a question.
Yeah.
This is a private detective's office.
This is actually a funeral home.
Your job is sorry. This is
a public version of the private.
This is the stage of the ongoing funeral of one Richard Getz. This eulogy is running very long, but my point is,
his Rick's grandmother died in the middle of this funeral.
We'll make our way over to the next conference room for that one. But what my point is, I don't think that this is actually a mystery. I think you're forgetting that you're supposed to be solving mysteries, and this is, in fact...
I haven't gotten to the mystery yet.
I don't think that you know what a mystery is.
I don't think there's still more to the story. There's a mystery coming.
Okay. You know what? I'm flexible.
So...
So is Rick's corpse. Watch this.
Yeah, so he's wearing a neck brace. And he's wearing the fuck out of a neck brace, guys. Let's show you some pictures of Sam Sheppard in his neck brace. One of my favorite things of this entire case because he sells it so hard.
He's going to be such a tosser. I can feel it already.
A wanker, even.
Yeah, wanker. He's going to be like, no, not my neck.
No, my neck.
I've got injuries.
We'll talk more about how long and for what he's wearing this neck brace for. But yeah, look at him. He's dressed up. This is when neck brace. So many pictures of him just in a neck brace. This is just me wrote neck brace. We could find more. Let's just say
that picture up in the middle with his mouth open.
That one?
Yeah.
Is that the one of when he came 2 or when he came 3?
Well done.
Thank you.
I'm clicking on that just so we can get a nice closer one for the promo.
Those are the biggest teeth I've ever seen.
Yeah, they're quite big.
You could bust a windshield with that teeth.
With that teeth.
During his stay at the hospital, police want to interview Sam. Steven keeps telling police, you can't interview him. He's got head injuries, man. It's not possible. Okay? Let him rest. A couple days you can talk to him. Police still burst in and say, you're fucking like his brother, shut the fuck up. And they interview him. But Steven insists, I got to be here for him. Just in case, I'm sitting here with him. They interview him. They tell the cops the story again. After the interview, Sam asks the police officer specifically, wait, am I suspect here? And one of the detectives, Detective Robert Schottky, straight up tells him, yeah, I think you killed your wife. So that's super awkward and hilarious. I do love how the cop is just like, yeah, you killed her. I know you did.
Good.
The only time the cop's ever been a straight shooter.
Unless there's a minority involved, they're shooting straight. Okay. The next day, the murder of Marilyn dominates the newspaper headlines. The media almost instantly is obsessed with this case.
Busts.
So one of the first stories about this case were sympathetic to Sam Sheppard. And they said that drug thieves, quote, were suspected in the quote unquote bludgeoning.
Oh, because they took a handful of morphine pills?
Yeah, because they're stealing morphine, and then they got caught by Marilyn, I guess, and they beat his head in, even though he's sleeping in a daybed right in front of the doorway. Anyways.
Right.
Makes sense.
I mean, believable though, because if you're gonna be a drug thief, you would want to do it pre the war on drugs. I mean, because the shit they had going around out there was wild. You just steal someone's over-the-counter heroin.
Yeah, but you don't need to be a drug thief. You can go to Walmart and get that. You don't need to steal it.
But that would necessitate having to spend money on it, and then also not getting to beat someone's wife to death.
This is a win-win for this drug thief.
Oh, I'm starting to see the point of the war on drugs now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to keep the good thieving, wife-beating men down.
So the media is sensitive to the whole situation at first, and then they start hearing whispers of what Sam's story is from other police members being like, this is what he's telling us. And they start hearing about him being soaking wet, topless. What the fuck is that? Super weird.
Why did you describe that so horrible?
Yeah, I know.
He was soaking wet and topless.
I got incredibly
chill, Richard. Damn, Daddy.
Yeah, dude. I'm about to come 4.
Yeah. I'm about to slide off my chair with that sort of language.
Once they start hearing the story, the media changes their tune pretty quick. They start making him number one suspect. Police interview him again. This time they bring a neurologist just to determine if he has a brain injury. Neurologist says he's okay to be interviewed. Steven still tries to stay for the police interview. They kick him out. July 6th, this is a couple days after, the Sheppard family lawyers up, and he's advised not to take any more questions or talk to the police anymore, or talk to anyone about the case anymore.
Smart.
Sam's still in the hospital for a few days, and he leaves to attend his wife's funeral on July 7th in a neck brace. He's got a big old neck brace on when he goes there. And that's the one where he's wearing the suit and the neck brace. That's for his wife's funeral.
I've never worn a neck brace, but I feel like you could fall asleep in one of those easily.
Yeah, I guess you can. There's no doing that to wake up for sure.
Yeah, I feel if I ever had a neck strain or something and I needed one, I'd just be all the time.
I have, but I wasn't wanting to sleep. But yeah, it was easy to sit. I was just like...
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said. Not wanting to sleep?
Well,
Who doesn't
no, hold
want
on
to
though.
sleep?
Hold on though. Bo saying I didn't want to sleep was the most unnecessary sentence she would ever have to say. You are the most erratic person I've met, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yep. No,
Yeah.
gotcha. I was like, why? Is there something about my biology?
See, it happened. Yes, it happened right there. You're like,
Yeah.
there's a million reasons, and I'm going to consider all of them in these 4 seconds.
Yes,
Yeah.
RJ. Yes. I've got to consider every possible outcome.
See,
And
and to me, that
context-
sounds exhausting.
It
Hence
is exhausting.
the neck brace.
Hence the bags. Yeah.
I don't think she does it on purpose.
No, it's not. It's my burden to carry.
So Chip's not allowed to go to the funeral. He doesn't go to his mom's funeral at all. There's too much
What?
media.
Hang on. What?
Yeah, the
There we
family
go.
doesn't let him go. There's too much media there. They're trying
That's
to keep
fucked
him
up.
out
Throw
of
up
the
another
camera.
penalty card.
Yeah.
Look,
That was
Marilyn
nice
Sheppard's
for
on
Richard.
that.
Who showed you? Who showed you?
Your wife texts me dick pics of your dick.
That bitch. At least get it when it's soft.
Also, your testicles, you need to go and see a doctor.
No, they're fine.
They're actually below average size testicles.
It's just the dick's so small it makes it look big. That's what I like about my
Oh.
penis size. My balls look huge.
That's usually the
There's no
opposite of what people
perspective
are
in a
aiming
picture,
for.
just my cock and balls. And if my balls look that big, think how small my dick
Wait,
is.
can you say cock and balls again?
Cock and balls again.
No, you shouldn't do that. Mr. Getz is really, I think he might be calling somebody. The mayor, even.
Yeah. So little Chip can't go. They wanted to keep him away from the media. They didn't want him to get in front of the camera lens too much. There was a lot of people taking pictures, which
Why? You'd be able to get
they
lots
should have
of
let him
pictures
go.
later.
I don't know. Like, come on, man. After the funeral, Sam issues a statement saying that he's fully cooperating with police and he puts up a $10K reward for the arrest of Marilyn's killer.
He's a liar.
July 8th, which is 4 days after this, a guy named Louis Seltzer. He was a reporter for the Cleveland Press.
Huge.
He accuses the Sheppard family of trying to thwart the murder investigation by like slowing them down and not letting them question him, stuff like that.
He was a very bubbly guy.
Aha.
Seltzer. Okay, cool.
I got
Well,
you.
that is the solve.
That is Seltzer has something to do with it. He even gets a quote from the assistant prosecutor, John Mayen, saying, "In my 23 years of criminal prosecution, I have never seen such a flagrant stalling as this case by the family of Dr. Samuel Sheppard." That's the guy that's like trying this case before the case is going up in the papers.
Well, if he wasn't gonna try hard before, he is now.
Yeah.
Because y'all are pissing him the fuck off.
In an attempt to cooperate with the police, Sam decides he's going to throw them a bone. So he heads home on July 9th, this time with the police, just so he can like reenact the night for them. He can just like, I'll go through what happened. Here you go.
And most of it was just camera shots of
Yeah, running.
Yeah.
Damn.
On July 10th, Sam shows up at the police station for voluntary questioning. So he's getting it from all the paper and stuff. So he's like, I better go talk to them because Jesus Christ. And this is when the affairs come to light. Police straight up ask if he had an affair with a lady named Susan Hayes. And he says, no, that's just my friend. I would never.
At this
Come
point,
on.
why? I guess
It gives
the whole-
motive, huge motive.
Yeah, okay. I was like, his wife's dead. At this point, why deny it? Oh yeah, because his wife's dead.
So yeah, he says no. He loves it. He says no, they're just friends. And then they say, hey, if you guys are just friends, why don't you take a polygraph? And no, I'm not taking. He refuses the polygraph. And in 1954,
I wonder why.
people thought polygraph was real. It's not like in the 80s and 90s when they shut that shit down. In the 50s, that was like a truth fucking thing. So he was like, no, I'm not taking that. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
So Sam goes back to work on
You
July
okay?
12th in his neck brace. He's making a show of this fucking neck brace. There's a good picture of him
You okay?
looking at a patient's eye with one of those fucking flashlights in his neck brace. And he also wearing sunglasses through the entire hospital because the lights hurt his eyes. I'm so brain damaged. My eyes hurt now.
I mean, I saw those pictures. You knew what I was doing. He looked cool as fuck.
Actually,
Yeah.
And then people are starting to ask him what happened around the office, or I guess the office. Steven just tells him, don't ask him questions. He's still fuzzy. He's got brain damage. Leave him alone. So Sam's like intercepting Sam's intercepting people too.
How long is this after?
This is like the 12th, so it'd be 8 days later.
And he's still, no, he's got brain damage. Don't
Leave him
do it.
alone, yeah. The public
Don't
is
do it.
fucking pissed at this case because it was huge. Media wants answers too, so the media starts upping their game. They start calling out the police for not arresting the main suspect. For Sam, they're like, on July 21st, 1954, the cover of the Cleveland Press read, "Do it now, Dr. Gerber." That was the headline. Cleveland Press
Cool.
reporters were calling for an inquest from the coroner, Gerber. After that morning that headline was out, that afternoon an inquest was ordered. So they're bullying around the cops now, the media. Inquest is so over, like so many people are there that they have to move it to the school gymnasium, and it lasted 3 days. Sam's wearing his neck brace the entire time. Over the next couple of weeks, here's some headlines from the Cleveland Press. They were really going above and beyond, I guess. So next day headline: why isn't Sam Sheppard in jail? Literally cover of the Cleveland Press. Why is not Sam Sheppard in jail? Quit stalling and bring him in is the next days. So during the inquest, they find out that Sam had been having an affair with Susan Hayes. He denies it again. This time he lies under oath. Susan walks into the inquest. Yeah, I fucked him. And he just goes like, I lied to protect her reputation. I didn't know she was going to come here. Otherwise, I would have said something.
He's full of shit.
Yeah, it makes him look super guilty.
Yeah.
During the inquest, Dr. Gerber examines the blood stain on one of the bloody pillows and says the murder weapon was 100% for sure a medical instrument. Not which medical instrument, he just said it's a medical instrument. Which is a stretch, because like they never found a weapon, but it does fill the narrative that Sam Sheppard killed his wife.
That
I'm
makes
doing
no
it.
fucking sense. Like, there's the spectrum of medical instruments is like bone saw
Huge.
to like stethoscope.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But everyone went, medical instrument sounds right, and they just accepted it.
It's one of those little rubber hammers where they do the knee reflex with.
Yeah, the reflection, the reflection.
Take bets. I'm gonna say the popsicle stick that they hold your tongue down with.
Yeah, exactly.
Ooh,
Tongue depressant.
That's a good one.
Yes, the tongue
I'm going to
depressant.
say the what's the thing that you
The
put?
blood pressure cuff.
Yeah, or the what's it called? The tourniquet? The tourniquet when it's when you like and you're gonna do a little syringe.
Yeah, so
Oh, the rubber
Oh.
piece.
I'm going with the
Yeah.
bag full of leeches they still probably had at the fucking hospital. They just
Yeah,
Oh,
that's true,
true. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would
Oh,
be
okay.
very wet and bloody.
exactly. That explains why he's so
Yeah.
wet for sure.
Mhm.
That
So
checks.
media goes crazy for this. It's a medical instrument. Fucking Sam Sheppard obviously killed his wife. No shit. There's another article in Cleveland Press, and the headline was "Quit stalling, bring him in." Like I said, Sam's arrested that night. The morning, media's still bullying the police here. Sam's still wearing a neck brace when he gets arrested. And then he's grilled for 2 days by 2 teams of detectives. That's what they said. Total of 22 hours of interrogation. And he's kept saying the same story over and over and over. So on August 17th, he was let out on $50,000 bail for 1954, which is a lot. Grand jury is impaneled, returned a first-degree murder indictment. Sam Sheppard's arrested for murder 4 days after being let out on bail. Sheppard hires a lawyer named William J. Corrigan. He's pretty well-renowned defense attorney at the time. Bunch of cases under his belt. So he was in good shape for that guy, he thought. And then the trial started on October 18th, 1954. First things first, Corrigan makes a motion for change of venue because everybody in town thinks that he killed his wife. Can we just move
good
this somewhere
call.
else?
Good call.
It's impossible to have a fair thing here. 70-year-old Judge Edward Blythen presided over the trial. He said that he's going to allow the case to happen in Cleveland or here because if you guys can get a jury, we'll just do it. So Corrigan says, no, dude, we need to change venue today. It's not going to happen. My guy's going to get the electric chair. Like, this is a guy's life on the line. Blythen's like, nah, we're good. Just go find a jury. So they take 10 days. During voir dire, every juror except one testifies to reading or hearing about the case in the media at some point. So they all already knew about this, already all thought he was guilty. Jury selection was
I do.
hindsight is the big thing too, right? Like, I have a lot of information beyond this, so it doesn't help. So jury selection was going well for defense. They still find one jury, and they're good. 7 women, 5 men. October 28th, 1954. Trial moves forward. Judge Blythen's all about it. Jury is not sequestered at all. They're allowed to go home every night, go read the newspaper, You guys can do whatever you want.
Oh dear.
They're not even trying.
Yep.
So
Innocent until proven guilty. Not in my courtroom.
Yeah, exactly. Their names are given to the media. Photos plastered all over the paper. They're like little mini celebrities while the case is going on. They're answering questions to all the reporters outside.
Huge.
Side note on this whole thing, Judge Blythen and the prosecutor, John Mahan, were both up for election that year. So getting a conviction on this case was helping them hugely to get to their next seat.
All political.
It is part of it, right? The trial lasts 9 weeks, full of adventures. The jury goes to the field trip to the house. There's experts upon experts, both sides claiming all sorts of opposing things. A few of the main arguments from both sides. So when Marilyn's body was recovered, like taken off the bed, she was missing a couple teeth, which were later found like underneath or beside her body. So it wasn't like in her mouth or anything.
In her husband's fist.
in his
knuckles. Around his neck.
One of the defense experts claimed that Marilyn lost her teeth from biting the assailant. So Sam had no abrasions, so like it's obviously not him who's the
Did
murderer.
they look under the neck brace? Maybe that's why he's wearing it. One of her teeth is stuck in there and they can't get it out.
Yeah.
They found the teeth there just out of her. They couldn't find them at first, but they were under her body. So they were there. Yeah, the prosecutor's expert claims that those teeth didn't fall out from being tugged out from a tooth. They were bashed in. Like, what are you talking about?
Oh.
With a tongue depressor.
Yeah.
See?
Oh. Here
All right,
we
that's
go.
1 point for me.
Yep.
Susan Hayes at the trial testifies about the affair. Before the trial, I found it was funny. They kept talking about her as Miss X, like during the Inquisition, but then Miss X is revealed as Susan Hayes. I just love that. I found that shit funny. Yeah, so she talked all about their affairs, a couple of years worth of affairs. There was even a week of Sam Sheppard testifying on his behalf where he admits to having the affairs and like everything, but just not killing his wife. So they'd have him on the stand for like a week. That's crazy to me. The actual perpetrator like that, you should never take it unless you really need to. The patrolman guy that was there, Trinken, he testifies that he doesn't believe Sam's story about the bushy-haired man. There's no signs of scuffle at the home, and there was no signs of forced entry, no witnesses of anybody being
What about on the beach?
Nothing on the beach. He said there's nothing on the beach.
It's called the tide, Bo. It erases all sins.
It's Lake Erie. There's no tide. There's still
Listen,
nothing
I
down
really
there.
wish if I hadn't said something that stupid that I hadn't said it quite so fucking loud.
Gerber, our buddy that just said there's a medical instrument, Coroner Gerber,
Oh, yeah.
He's the prosecution's star witness. He went over all the blood evidence, the sheets, the clothes, the pills. He even says the murder weapon's a medical instrument again. No proof of that at all. But everyone went, cool. Nobody even questioned it. That's what's crazy to me. Everyone's like, well, I guess it is. Gerber said it.
Well,
Gerber said it, guys. Like, it's true. How would you know a medical instrument? Like, anyways, crazy.
I would have asked follow-up questions. Like, there are a lot of different medical like I'd have follow-up questions. I wouldn't necessarily like dismiss it straight away, but I'd be like,
how do you know that? That would be my first question.
Yeah.
How do you know that? Show me what
a rough idea of the shape of blunt objects.
Yeah,
but to say it's a medical instrument, there's no way.
He like, I'm being vague on, like, I'm trying to go quickly, like, to go through the whole thing. He did go through a bunch of medical books and find something that fit the shape and went, this is the thing. I just don't know the name of it, but he found a thing.
It's like a chainsaw. It's this.
Yeah, exactly.
He bludgeoned her with this.
It's not scientific at all. He just picked something that kind of looked right and said, this is what it is. Okay, maybe it is that, or it could be a multitude of different things, dude. Yeah, so the blood on the watch, they say that it could only come from someone who killed Marilyn. That's what the defense says. Then the prosecution's like, it's transfer blood. They threw away the blood evidence, really. The defense's big play was that, like, he had neck injuries, guys. He couldn't have done that to himself. What did he, like, jump off the deck and break his own neck? Get this fucking neck brace? And after he killed his wife, just to, like, prove it? Like, was their big defense?
That would be the smart move, yeah.
Yeah, that would be the move.
Problem is,
how old was this man?
He was, I think he was
12.
30 when this happened. 30.
Oh yeah,
30,
plenty young
okay.
enough
He's
to break
30.
your own neck.
I'm 30 something too, I think. 32, I think.
I'm 36.
I guaranteed right now, if someone was like, you have 40 seconds to damage one of your own vertebrae, I could do it without anything else. I could just right here, just like, what shot? And there you go. I'm done.
I feel like that's okay. Break a vertebrae, go.
What are you
No,
offering?
Yeah, I was about to say.
What am I going to do? Just to prove my point? We
Yeah.
established I'm stupid and say stupid shit. You're going to have to do better than that.
That's fair.
And you establish you're physically very fragile.
Yeah.
I am incredibly fragile. Thank you for noticing.
I don't know, the injuries, whatever. Maybe he did inflict them on himself. That was their defense. He couldn't really do that. He'd fight with this guy. He's been knocked out twice by this scruffy hair. He's a victim here, okay? They went to December 17th, which is 9 weeks. Both sides rested their case. And then Judge Blythen finally sequesters the jury for deliberations. He at least says, okay, if you're going to be deliberating, you got to stay now. But you can make whatever phone calls you want. Don't worry about that. So they could just still call. It didn't really matter. They weren't sequestered fully, but it took them 5 days to deliberate. They come back with a verdict. On December 21st, 1954, Sam Sheppard is found not guilty of first-degree murder. I'm going to show you a little video of Judge
Ooh.
Blythen. Yes, what's your question?
Not guilty.
That's a curveball.
Mm.
So here's Blythen giving the verdict.
We, the jury in this case, being duly impaneled and sworn, do find the defendant, Sam H. Sheppard, not guilty of murder in the first degree, but guilty of murder in the second degree. James C. Bird, foreman.
I hid it from you. I'm a dick.
Okay, not a curveball.
Yeah.
Just a
that was
bad
good.
pitch.
They they just didn't want to kill the guy, so they gave him second degree instead, because they were going to put him to the electric chair. I do love Judge Blythen's bow tie. I didn't really realize they filmed that much of court cases back then. This one here has a lot of footage in the actual courtroom. Yes, Celeste.
Are you sure you understand what a mystery is? Should we take a second, maybe fire up dictionary.com and just double check?
Yeah, we got a mystery. It's coming. I promise. There's a mystery coming. I promise.
Look, I'm edging really bad right now.
I promise.
Same.
So he's found guilty of second-degree murder, sentenced to life in prison with a chance of parole after 10. Sam still maintains his innocence, and his lawyer, Corrigan, files a motion for a new trial. Sheppard's lawyer listed 40 different grounds for his mistrial.
I was going to say, on what grounds? They did everything by the book. That was squeaky clean if I ever saw it.
No.
Yeah.
Pre-trial scrutiny, the fucking publicity, denial of change of venue, errors in jury selection. There's like 1,000 things in here. He and his lawyers knew his constitutional rights were like stomped on. So, Judge Blythen didn't see it that way. He said, no, we're good. It's not that bad.
No,
Don't
he
worry
knows.
about it. Don't worry about it. It's just the media. Who cares?
You didn't
You're
see
fine.
shit, dog.
Yeah, he didn't see shit.
6 months later, Sam's sent to a maximum security prison in Columbus, Ohio on a life sentence. Less than a week after his conviction, on January 7th, Sam's mother, Ethel, commits suicide. Yep. My kid went to jail, and her husband was super sick too. And so she fucking just killed herself less than a week after. Fucking super sad. And then his dad dies a couple days after that of stomach cancer. 11 days after Ethel's suicide. So, yeah, both his parents gone before he even makes it to maximum security. And then this other guy, in 1955, he's a doctor. His name is Dr. Paul Kirk. He's from California. He wanted to look into this case because it was so much publicized. He wanted to look at all the evidence. He does a little thorough investigation of the evidence, and he goes to the house, takes a look through the house. With this little report, this is after he's convicted in jail already. The Sheppard family's ears kind of stick up and go, let's pay attention to what's going on here. So, first of all, he claims that the murderer must have been left-handed. Just by looking at the blood spatter and how it landed behind him, that no right-handed person could kill him. Sam Sheppard was right-handed, not left-handed.
That's crazy.
The murder weapon to him looked like it would have been like one of those big industrial flashlights.
The
murder
flashlight,
weapon,
you say?
The murder weapon would have been a flashlight, he thinks, just by the actual shape of it. It could be a lot of things, is basically what I'm saying.
Okay. What medical instruments look like
yeah,
flashlights?
There's the flashlight, the little baby flashlight that goes in your eyes to check your pupils.
Who had that one?
quite
I don't think any
small.
of us did.
I think that's quite small.
Oh no,
though.
I've
How do you-
had that in my eye before.
He also explained the murder must have been someone that hated the Sheppards, and these guys had a nice family. Like, what? They didn't hate anybody. Nobody hates anybody. This is a hate-filled. It's not jealous husband-filled. Top off the report's findings, a neighbor of the Sheppards found a bent flashlight in the shallow waters of Lake Erie in July, so a couple months after he was put in jail, 3 months after the reports were published. So meanwhile, while Sam's in maximum security, there's another guy looking into it for him saying, hey, this doesn't really all add up. Let's take another look at this. While in jail, Sam has to do a couple things. He joins the jail wrestling team, which I find fucking funny that they like have a jail wrestling team. Like, when you go to the next jail and wrestle the next guy at the other jail?
That shouldn't be
regionals.
allowed.
We're going to regionals.
We shouldn't get to be like violent with each. It's like the next prison over. They do like the fencing, prison fencing league.
Yeah, here's a
like,
foil.
Here's our prison sharp object stabbing team. Make Shiv team.
I'm going to penitentiaries. That's funny. He's wrestling with his team. That's just to kind of pass the time. He also gets addicted to drugs and becomes a huge alcoholic in jail.
Oh, really? Drug seeking then, eh?
Yeah, drug seeking and alcoholism. Very bad alcoholism in there. Early 1959, this is about 4 years after he's been in jail, some murder groupie started sending Sam letters. Her name's Ariane Tabin-Johans. Tabin-Johans. I'm going to call her Ariane.
Tabin-Johans?
Yeah, I'm going to say Ariane. It's too hard. She's from Germany. She comes to America to visit him in prison. She visits him a couple times. They hit it off. She's a great lady, this Ariane Tabin-Johans or whatever. She's half-sister to a woman named Magda Ritzel. And Magda Ritzel was the wife of Joseph Goebbels. So that's fun, hey? She's like sister-in-law to the fucking one of the craziest Nazis ever.
Incredibly liberal use of the word fun.
It's like, holy crap, where did he find this lady? Like, my God. She denies having any Nazi views, guys. So that's why she moved to America to get with her wife-killing boyfriend. Anyways, they get engaged in 1963. The first time she goes to prison to visit him, like he proposes. That makes sense. This guy likes to do things quickly, efficiently. Late November 1959, a guy named Richard Eberling is arrested for larceny. Richard Eberling is found in possession of 2 of Marilyn Sheppard's rings upon his arrest. Because of this, Eberling is looked into as potentially being Marilyn's killer. He is questioned about the rings, and he is cleared of having anything to do with Marilyn's murder by the police in 1959. We're going to talk a lot more about Eberling, but I just want you to know this is 59. This is a couple years after she's already been dead. He's found with 2 rings. And Sam's in jail for 6 years at this point, I believe. But from the moment he gets the guilty plea, Sheppard is appealing the case. Sam's lawyer, Corrigan, spent 6 years trying to appeal the case. Nothing, all appeals were rejected. Corrigan dies in 1961, or he would have kept going. And Stephen starts looking for a new lawyer to represent Sam. A young Boston lawyer named F. Lee Bailey picks up the case after flying to Cleveland and meeting up with Stephen Sheppard. I don't know if you guys remember F. Lee Bailey, but he was on OJ's dream team.
Not personally.
He was like, he's an OJ's lawyer. Yeah.
Good lawyers. Yeah.
Rock star.
Well, I think he's aiming for the best.
He's a rock star lawyer when that happened, like because of Sam Sheppard. Sam Sheppard case is actually what made him good enough to be on the OJ dream team. F. Lee Bailey jumps in the case, begins to work. This is a little side note, but the Fugitive TV show begins to air in 1963. Fugitive TV show is loosely supposed to be based on the Sam Sheppard case about a doctor who's wrongly accused of killing his wife, and he's on the run trying to prove his innocence for the one-armed man who did it, or the scruffy-haired man.
I didn't kill my wife.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Okay, I think I figured it out.
Fugitive's a huge hit. I just want to put that out there.
Oh, she is being Rick. She's filling Rick's role.
Media.
I told you I'm here to pay homage. I figured out what he killed her with.
Oh, you are being Rick. This is phenomenal.
So if you look, because remember 1950s flashlights, they look more like a tube with like a little like a circle on the
RJ,
head
show her what it looks like on your card.
Oh, fuck, I erased
Draw me a 1950s flashlight.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant a 1950s penis just then.
I just thought he had the dick still on it.
A 1950s penis is that different?
I just told him, I thought he had it still drawn on. That was all. Sorry.
Well, anyway, moral of the story, a 1950s flashlight looks not exactly, but similar enough to a round medical sterilizer for syringes in the 1950s.
There you go.
Ooh. Okay,
Exactly
so
like that.
1950 penises did look different.
Yeah.
That's a really good flashlight that you drew there. Good job.
They're brighter now, but back then,
yeah.
Penises
I
are
love
very
that
dull.
when I take a guy's pants off and I'm fucking blinded by his flashlight tip.
I think they stopped it in the 60s, but every baby boy that was born was automatically circumcised, regardless of whether the parents wanted it or not. I don't know if it was the same in other countries.
They kept a rabbi on retainer.
Yeah, it fucking happens a lot here still. I am personally not very happy with that procedure.
I mean, either.
No, you're cut.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's Australia. They have to cut that off. Something's going to climb in there and live there. They have to, like, protect.
Our sons aren't cut.
Good. You're putting them in danger. How many spiders could be living in there?
Yeah, there could be so many spiders in their knob.
The Fugitive, it's out there. It's super popular based on this case, basically saying that he's an innocent man. The Fugitive is an innocent guy. 1963, also, F. Lee Bailey files a habeas corpus petition saying that Sam's being held in prison illegally. Appeals based on the right to a fair trial was diminished by all the media attention in the first case. The media was saying that he was guilty right off the start, and the jury had already been tainted by the reporting. So I have here's a little F. Lee Bailey. You can see, he's going to explain a little thing to you here.
Even trying to get him out, we filed what is called a petition for a writ of habeas corpus, which asks that he be released because his constitutional rights had been violated. And it came on before federal judge Carl A. Weinman in southern Ohio. Some of the things that he found to be constitutional defects in that trial included a lot of pretrial publicity that he thought was most unfair and probably preconditioned the jurors. He found that the judge who heard the case was a prejudiced man and not been fair to Sam at all, and furthermore, that he didn't keep control of his courtroom, that newsmen were bouncing up and down like jacks in the box and taking pictures of jurors and kibitzing and making noise and destroying what we like to think is the decorum.
My God, these insufferable rabble-rousers.
Conviction of mockery of justice.
Rabble-rousers.
I hate when the jurors kibitz.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our little buddy F. Lee Bailey. Tommy Lee Jones played him in the OJ TV show.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Cool. He also played the marshal in Lydia.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. He did not care.
He's got a lot of F. Lee Bailey in him.
Don't we all?
This is where this case starts to become like a constitutional battle. It's like the right to free press versus like the right to a fair trial, right? So federal district court judge Carl Weinman, like I said, goes over it. He says that this 1954 trial was a mockery of justice. July 16th, 1964, the state is ordered to release Sheppard and gives the prosecutor 60 days to bring charges or the case would be dismissed permanently. So Sam's released on a $10K bail while they figure this stuff out. I could show you some Sam Sheppard too talking if you want to see.
Yes, please. I love visual aids. Especially since we're not actually solving a mystery today. So
we're not there yet. The mystery's coming. This is right after he gets released.
He termed the Sheppard conviction a mockery of justice and released him in $10,000 bail pending action by the state.
Where's his neck brace?
Yeah, where is his neck brace? I don't even recognize him without it.
Recent experience in the Ohio Penitentiary, what it was like there for you?
It was hell. Who do you think is most responsible for what you consider to be the unjust decision in 1954?
Well, I would say politics, probably.
Now, the decision named names. Would you like to?
I think that...
Well, I think in view of the fact that we anticipate litigation here and that Sam will be a party to it, it's probably...
The 1950s ways he was rocking back and forth on his heel was so fucking funny.
Yeah. I've also never seen more of a guy who just murdered his wife look on anyone's face ever.
It's been
to be fair, it was 10 years. It was 10 years ago.
That's I know that, and so that's saying something.
Yeah.
That shit haunts him.
He has cuck energy.
Or
for sure.
he likes it.
You're going to see how much it haunts him, I think. 3 days after his release, Sam meets up with Ariane, and during their first meeting, they go get married. That same day. Yeah, he gets out of jail. He gets married to the German, the Nazi girl.
Come on, buddy.
I'm just going to keep that clip going. Sorry, I should have turned that off because you'll get to see what she looks like, and you'll get to see how happy he is with this marriage.
A few days after his release, Sheppard marries Ariane Tevin Johans, a German girl who had begun a correspondence with him while he was in prison. On a trip to New York, they are mobbed by newsmen.
Hold the camera still.
Mrs. Sheppard, how do you decide you're in love with a man who's in prison?
Well, that's why I came to the States, to find out if I really was in love, because you couldn't tell by somebody you have never met.
And how many meetings did it take before you did decide?
It was the first moment I walked into the visiting room.
How does freedom feel to you, sir?
Ecstatic.
Is his wife significantly older than him?
No, I think about the same age.
She has not aged well.
He's
Russia will do that, 40s. Or Germany will do that.
I think he's 43 when he gets out. Or no, 46.
Yeah, she looks a lot older than 43.
Well, corpses have a way of decomposing over time, so that's not really fair.
I suppose that's true.
Yeah.
The state of Ohio right away appeals the district's report to release him to the U.S. Court of Appeals. The Sixth Circuit Court Appeals reverses the federal judge's ruling 2-1 vote. So F. Lee Bailey informs them he's going to bring this to the Supreme Court. They're going to arrest Sheppard, and F. Lee Bailey kind of talks him down to just like leave him out in 10K bail until we figure this out through the Supreme Court. February, the Supreme Court hears oral arguments from F. Lee Bailey, and
Is that where they decide who gives better head, the prosecution?
Yeah, I was about to say. As soon as you said arguments,
I knew one of you would.
I'm like, oh,
yeah.
All right. Well, I thought this was turning sexy, but
that is how they determine that. Here comes the video.
All right, that's it. I need my own penalty cards.
The defense may rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
One.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, you got him all fucking frazzled now.
No, it's because it was in full.
He was like, maybe I should be a judge.
Yeah.
We argued that even though the publicity had been bad, that the jury had not been prejudiced, that they were a normal jury, that the trial was conducted by the judge in an orderly manner, that the judge was impartial, and that the conviction was a fair conviction. In other words, that Sam Sheppard had been found guilty by a jury, that this jury system was not perfect, but it was the best means ever devised by man to determine guilt and innocence.
Well, that's the Ohio prosecutor. He's going with, that's their angle to this. What are you talking about? No constitutional rights violations at all. Everything's good to go on this.
I don't think. I think that it was like, not that I'm defending, unless obviously he's innocent, and we're going to learn about that, and that's where the little mystery's hidden. But
not a chance.
Like, I don't. Yeah, okay. It might not have followed proper judicial process, but also he's a dick. So
100%. On June 6, 1966, in an 8-0 with one abstention vote, ruled that the rights of Sam Sheppard were violated, and the 1954 case verdict of the murder was deemed invalid.
Thus marked the beginning of the downfall of man.
The factors mentioned in the decision were the carnival atmosphere surrounding the trial. They claim that Judge Blythen, who died a few years before the case went to the Supreme Court, was biased towards Sam Sheppard in a bunch of ways, like not sequestering the jury, refusing the jury to disregard the media reports on the case. There's even a story when he's talking to a newspaper columnist just before the case had started, and he told that lady, like, as a quote, like, well, he's guilty as hell, there's no question about it. So, like, right away had his mind made up, telling people. Days later, prosecutor John Corrigan announced that Sam will be retried. So they had 60 days to do that. So that's what they're going to do. Here's Sam talking about how he's going to be retried and how he's excited for it. He's fucking pumped about it.
Excited?
Yeah.
They found new evidence, did they?
Sam Sheppard, like, what do you need evidence for?
I don't need any evidence. He beat his wife to death with a sterilization tube for a syringe.
Here's our buddy Sam and his wife, his new wife, talking about getting retried here.
His hard German wife.
I've been waiting for 12 years to be retried, and I wish to be retried because F. Lee Bailey of Boston is going to vindicate me and prove my innocence in court. However, the other part of my emotion is that I fear for my wife's health, for the ordeal that she must go through on top of the ordeal she's already been subjected to. This has not been easy on her.
Is he talking about his dead wife or his current wife?
Goes for the rest of the family, and including our son, our daughter, our parents in Europe. This is not going to be easy on them. Some of them because they're too young, and others because they're too old. But on the other hand, I welcome the chance to prove my innocence, which I will do.
Oh, they should have let him fry.
Oh, you don't even
Also,
know.
why has his balls never dropped? Why is his voice
Yeah,
so...
I was gonna ask that as well. That is the most annoying voice. Like, I would put it like maybe like a hair above Jordan Peterson and dumbest human male voices.
I would put it in a hair below, a hair above RJ McCarthy.
What the fuck? God damn it, Bo. What did I do?
He did not see it coming. That's the best part.
He didn't see that coming at all.
David Spade,
Oh
right
God.
below RJ, above David Spade.
Yeah,
My voice is wonderful. How dare you?
No, well, no, because you got to put just a hair above that. We've got Mr. Mackey.
Who's Mr. Mackey?
I'm ending the call.
I'm
That
ending
hasn't
the
come
call.
up in so long. I forgot about it almost.
Yeah.
Didn't forget about it, but almost did.
No, but his voice actually fucking sucks.
He's the worst. This guy, and you're gonna laugh even more. There's so much more. Okay, so jury selection.
Some of them are too young and some of them are too old.
Jury selection for the second trial begins on October 24th, 1966. Judge Francis Talty didn't want any more constitutional violations in this trial, so he limits the press in the court. You can go on the steps of the courtroom and talk after the case, but you're not allowed in the courtroom. The whole defense this time is like a third-party defense, and to discredit all the prosecution witnesses. So you remember the coroner from the first case, Gerber? Bailey just caught him up in the lie about the murder weapon. He's like, how do you know it's that? You don't know it's that. You can't prove it's that. You kept saying it's a medical instrument. Did you ever find the weapon? So Bailey right away attacks him. And he's an older guy now. It's been 10 years since. And he was already old to begin with. So he just got him on the stand, just probably retired. I think he was retired. And then he took that second to go like, all the evidence is like this. Nothing concrete. Like it's all circumstantial. And then F. Lee Bailey's third party suspect was Esther Houck, like the wife of Mayor Spencer Houck. So Bailey believed that she committed the murder after she found out that Mayor Houck was engaged in an affair with Marilyn. That's who impregnated her. That's why when she caught them having sex at the house, she just beat the fuck out of Marilyn at the bed.
That's what I was going to ask, if it was the mistress, but
that's where the defense was. It's the mayor's wife. This is your friend's wife.
How often do you hear about women bludgeoning people to death?
You don't.
Yeah, that's why I kind of didn't say it.
It's women poison. Women will like shoot if they have to. Women don't do bludgeoning.
I would.
Yeah.
Tell us more about what women do, Richard.
Statistically,
yeah, I would.
Women kill with poison.
Hold up, Bo, did you just say you would bludgeon someone to death?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, fucking rock. See, that's why Christy's with you, because that's that Carlac in you.
Yeah, and also the danger.
Yes.
Like the dice roll is not in my favor. Like the dice roll is not in my favor that I would do it. But if I had
Don't
to
fucking
kill
matter.
someone...
You get to attack twice.
Well, you don't
exactly.
have to. This is somebody that you're choosing to kill.
Oh.
That isn't actually doing you any direct harm.
Oh.
Because I'd bludgeon a motherfucker to death in self-defense because of the adrenaline or whatever.
But like I cheated, like I caught my husband cheating. Are you gonna bludgeon the
on
lady?
me with his own wife? How fucking dare this bitch?
Yeah.
To be fair, if I found Christy cheating, I would be bludgeoning. Could be actually my choice
to death.
Bludgeoning would potentially be closer to my choice because I'd feel a lot better after watching that.
Okay, but what if you caught her cheating on you with Carlac?
Oh no, we've already said that's fine. Hall pass as long as I get Shadow Heart.
Yeah, all right.
You fucking nerds. All right.
Yeah.
Marilyn was I didn't really describe the body yet, but she was in inanimate pose when her body was found. There's no evidence that Mayor Hauk was fucking Marilyn at all, but you could bring that up in court, no problem. That's cool. Just fucking make shit up because it could have happened.
In an intimate pose,
intimate position. What does that mean?
Sleeping in the nude.
She had her pants off. Like, I'll go through the whole crime scene how it was, but like she had
face
her shirt
down,
up.
looking downward dog, downward dog,
ass up.
No, she had her shirt up.
It'd be
legs
really hard to
spread,
bludgeon somebody to
pants
death
down.
in that position.
Shirt up, legs spread, pants. What a dead slut.
No, I'm with RJ on this one. Absolute whore.
Imagine taking your pants off and spreading your legs. What a slut.
Yeah,
none of us have ever done that. Yeah, none of us have ever done that before in our lives.
Man, dying really turned her into a whore.
Another thing that was fun with the second trial is that they weren't allowed to mention that Sam had been having affairs. I don't know exactly the ruling on why that is, but they couldn't bring up his affairs with Susan Hayes.
It's a character thing. His character doesn't matter, really, when it comes to this particular crime.
Yeah, but you can also just, like, make up that, like Marilyn was fucking Spencer Hauk, like the mayor.
She's
but you
a
can't
woman.
say the real
She
one. You
has
can make
no
up
rights.
one, but not say the real one. You know what I mean?
The woman
Like,
has no rights. Zero rights.
That's true. So the defense also gets Paul Kirk to testify, the guy that did the investigating into this case, wrote the report. He said the blood on it was 100% contact transfer, guys. It wasn't blood spatter. This Dr.
Pure,
Kirk does.
undiluted Mexican black tar transfer contact.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
The prosecution was like, that is definitely blood spatter. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Kirk testifies about how the murder must have been left-handed. Sam was right-handed. Both prosecution and defense rest their case. This is basically the case. They did prosecution had the same case minus Susan Hayes and a little bit more evidence. The defense just changed it to like a third-party culprit and making so 3 weeks after the trial began, November 16th, 1966, the jury deliberates for less than a day, coming back with a not guilty verdict.
Wow.
So Sam Sheppard is...
Are you doing this again?
Finally a free man. No, he is. He did not... No, I didn't. It's not again. He's not guilty this time.
So he's a free man.
So the mystery is, how much were those jurors paid?
Yeah.
He gets out of jail. He gets 15 minutes of fame directly after the trial. Everyone wants to interview with him. He goes on Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. I couldn't find the clip. I was going to put it on.
He went on Johnny Carson.
He went on Johnny Carson because The Fugitive, you got to remember, is on TV, and it's huge.
Things are bad right now, but this country's always fucking sucked.
Oh,
I hate this place so much. God damn it.
He gets a ghostwriter to help him write a book about his side of the story. He calls it Endure and Conquer. That's the book.
He couldn't write it himself because he broke his hands on his new wife's face.
He couldn't write it himself because he was neck brace.
Yeah.
He couldn't look down at the page. Bill Levy's his ghostwriter. He had a really hard time working with this guy. Did it anyway, but had a lot of hard time because he thought he was guilty as fuck. But he still did it. Like, shut the fuck up. You can't write it, take the cash, and then go like, I didn't like it. Shut the fuck up. You still took the money. Shut the fuck up. Yeah. So after his 10 years of incarceration,
shut the fuck up again.
Sam, after 10 years of incarceration, Sam comes out of prison, I would say somewhat broken man.
Yeah, I bet he was. Broken in.
He lost his career as a surgeon. He was a broken in man for sure. But he tried to get it back. He opened a medical office. He got to be a doctor again. He opened his medical office in Columbus, suburb of Gahanna, Ohio. May 10th, 1968, he's granted surgical privileges back at the Youngstown Osteopathic Hospital. So he's a surgeon again. Unfortunately, his skills as a surgeon had deteriorated over 10 years of not doing it. Not to mention, he's hammered all the time. I forgot to mention that when he's doing that interview with his wife, saying, I can't wait for trial, he looks fucking drunk. The way he's talking is slurred, and he's like leaning on her. It's really weird. He's hammered all the time. So on May 15th, 68, that was 5 days after he got his medical surgery license back, he was performing a discectomy, I don't know. And he accidentally
cut... What's a discectomy, Chris?
Discectomy.
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 Yeah.
Is that when they
Disc-
cut some of it out to heal it or to fix a slip disc?
Yeah. To change a C2.
Into a C4.
Anyways, whatever it is, he accidentally cuts an artery of a woman, and she dies the next day.
Oops.
Oopsies.
If that's not bad enough, on October 6th, he nicked someone else's artery during surgery, and the 29-year-old lady dies from internal bleeding as well.
Oops.
Cool.
So he, within 2 months of getting his surgical practice back, 2 wrongful death suits, and he has to quit his job. So he's basically a serial killer at this point. He's killed 3 people now.
Crazy.
Yeah.
What was his next appearance on Johnny Carson like?
Here comes some more. Still a huge alcoholic.
Listen.
He's still a huge alcoholic. At least he has a wife now, right? No, he doesn't. On October 7th, 1969, Ariane, the Nazi, files for divorce, saying that she felt threatened by him, and he said he was going to kill her.
His German's wife's name is Arian.
I know. I've said that from the beginning.
Ariane, yeah.
Yeah.
I missed that.
I did too.
Can't believe I missed
Arian.
that.
And she's blonde and blue eyes too.
She is.
Name. But she doesn't support Hitler.
She doesn't. It's only my
there,
sister.
There was this little thing that happened back then, Bo, where that was kind of the only people they let hang around. So
Yes.
it's
correct.
a given.
Correct.
She files for divorce, saying he threatened to kill her. She was so scared that she had to get a police escort to get in and out of her house for a couple weeks while she gathered her shit. So he's lost his wife. He lost his job. What's he going to do now?
Is that the mystery? Where's the mystery?
It's coming. He looks down at himself and he goes, I'm athletically fit. I've always been athletically fit. I'm also a drunk.
No.
I'm also a drunk. How do I merge these two things?
Axe throwing.
He becomes
At ex-wives.
a professional wrestler, like WWF.
Oh!
Yeah, at 45 years old, or 46 years old, or 45. He has his first match. Here, I've got a little picture of him as a wrestler if you'd like to see.
What's his trope? And did he wrestle with, like, The Rock's dad?
Oh, he's before that generation.
Stigma of the murder conviction still hung over his head. His medical practice failed.
Smug
He began
motherfucker.
to drink.
God, he should have fried.
He even tried to make money as a professional wrestler. Just 4 years after his release.
Hey, why does that photo look like it was taken in like 1993?
Because that's his kid. We're getting there.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's Chip. So first match, he's 45 years old, not wearing a neck brace. Did you notice that? He can wrestle now.
I did.
Yes. Yeah,
Only
he
wearing
doesn't-
jocks.
He just swings his neck around. The other guys are like, ow, you bit me.
And he goes by the wrestling name.
Wait, let me guess. The definitely murdered his wifeinator.
Close.
What about the Strangulator?
No.
Or the Strangle Mongrel?
The bludgeoner.
Yeah, the bludgeoner could be good.
No, he went by Killer Shepherd, which is fucking messed up, dude. It's fucked up.
That is on the nose, sir.
He
On
fought
the
over
nose.
40 matches, and he was a huge draw because
It was
of his
on the nose, the face, the teeth.
The teeth, the spread legs.
So the guy that got him into wrestling was a guy named George Strickland, and he was a wrestling promoter. Wrestler himself, he tag teamed with Killer Shepherd a bunch.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a match in wrestling. George,
I love it.
Strickland had a daughter. Her name was Colleen. Colleen is 19 years old in 1969. Sam is 45. And they fall in love. And in December 1969, Sam and Colleen get married.
He married his daughter.
He married his
Not his own
partner's
daughter.
His partner's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Wait, I have a book for that.
Yeah. Colleen.
Wait, his partner's daughter,
Yeah.
19,
And
and
he's
he's 45. Boy. All right.
Colleen, who's his new wife, she claims that Sam during this time was drinking a 26er or 2 a day, a fifth a day.
What's a
of whiskey.
26? What's a fifth? I don't know these.
750 mil. That's what it is. 750.
So like 3/4 of a liter.
Yeah.
That's like, so like a Smirnoff bottle, a liter Smirnoff bottle is like this big, and it's like 3/4 of that of whiskey.
Daily, every day. Or 2.
Jeebus.
It's a lot of liquor. So you guys will be glad to know he wasn't out of prison long because he died in 1970.
That doesn't make me glad.
He died 4 years after
It
being
makes
let
me
out.
glad.
He died of-
Richard, where is the mystery?
It's coming. It's
He's
coming.
out.
It's coming.
Now.
Nah. She's just getting grumpy because she's edging.
I am edging.
Yeah,
and we're at a funeral, and I'm upset.
He died from brain damage from alcoholism.
Angry
Of
edging
course
at
he
a
did.
funeral.
No, he died from brain damage from his brain smack.
From getting
that he
hit in the
took.
back of the head, yeah.
Yes.
No, it was from alcoholism.
needed to, yeah.
Liver problems moved into the brain, and he fucking died because of just
Very
drinking
bad way to
so
go.
much alcohol every single day. It's called
Wow, that's really
Wernicke's encephalopathy.
Holes in your brain.
Encephalopathy.
Yeah, Wernicke's.
That's
Anyways,
brain stuff.
Yeah, it's a part of your brain, the Wernicke's.
he's buried in Forest Lawn Memorial in Columbus, Ohio. Fast forward to 1989. Sam Jr. has been living his life, grew up with his aunts and uncles. He's a dental hygienist now,
And Chip did it.
and he's in his 40s. He's affected by this his whole life, especially the stigma of the Sheppard name being associated with murder.
Well, and to be fair,
yeah.
Richard, he did call himself Killer Sheppard. There is
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
like, not only his actual definitely killed his wife, but then like
But then his dad acted like it was funny. Yeah.
Yeah, his fresh
feel
start
that, yeah.
was to be known for everything wrong about him.
yeah, like he didn't think that rebrand through.
Oh no, he did.
So Chip now, he's got his like cleaning teeth life, and he's in his 40s. He just, you know what? I'm gonna clear my father's name.
Oh no, he's doing a cleaning and he nicks an artery and kills the other one.
No, he's gonna go find the teeth. He's gonna find the teeth.
I've worked my whole life for this.
He's gonna go
Yeah.
renovate their room and pull up the carpet, and underneath he'll find a journal.
Yeah.
And in that journal
were teeth.
Fucking Hook
I mean,
Hands Harry, the infamous hermit of the what beach did he live on?
It's Lake Erie. He lives in Lake Erie.
Like
Hook
Erie,
Hands
yeah.
Harry on Lake Erie confessed to the murder.
Oh, the mystery, but metric to imperial.
Yeah.
So this is a little Chip now, or I guess in the early 2000s, late 90s. What is this?
That's some
114?
fucking Sam 2.0 shit.
How he looks like his dad. eh?
Yeah.
And what's hardest to deal with are those painful memories.
I slept through the whole thing. If I had awakened, I probably would have been killed myself. I
Oh, he is gay.
would assume certainly
Yeah.
the other people in the house were assaulted. So I woke up to a house full of police and people dealing with a horrible scene.
He's not well, but also your dad wasn't beat up. Did he have the neck brace already?
His
he's
dad
kept it
claimed
in
he believes his dad. Okay,
Hmm.
he wants to clear
Yeah,
his
it's
dad's
called
name.
coping, Richard.
I know. That's Chip. So Sam
or assigning
does
blame.
investigation, spends a lot of money on trying to figure out what happened here, and he does hear about his mother's ring being found in possession of Richard Eberling, the guy who had the two rings. So he goes to the Ohio Lebanon Correctional Institution to talk to this guy, and after that meeting, he was convinced that Eberling was the murderer.
Oh, good lord.
Eberling's
Oh.
in jail now because he murdered another woman.
Ah.
The fact he killed somebody else, bludgeoning too, he must have killed his mom. April 1993, Sam decides he's going to write a book with a co-author named Cynthia Cooper. The story was to promote his father's innocence by casting suspicion on Richard Eberling. So in November, Chip hires AMSEC to investigate his mother's murder. Their report backs up Sam Senior's claim of another person in the house who committed the murder. So this is with early 2000, or I guess mid 90s investigative techniques instead of the 50s. So they would have been a little bit better, I guess, but before they write a book. It's released in September 1995. It's called Mockery of Justice. A month later, the Sheppard estate sues the Cuyahoga County for wrongful imprisonment of his father, like 45 years later. So he sues the state.
Is his dad dead?
Oh, yeah, since 1970. He died
Thank
like
God, yes.
So he's
20
suing
You
for
know-
the wrongful imprisonment of his dead
he
dad.
wants a formal declaration of innocence for his father
Right.
and money, too.
Of course.
Maybe publicity for his new book. Who knows?
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, he literally, there's a point when the prosecutor's like, did you get an advance for a movie? He's like, well, only if my book gets more push. And he's like, is this why you're like suing us right now?
Oh my God. Don't admit it, you dickhead.
1996, the Sheppard estate files action. The Sheppard estate hires lawyer, whatever, represent them against the state of Ohio. His name's Terry Gilbert, the lawyer. One of Gilbert's tactics was to use the media to propagandize the death of Marilyn and how bad the investigation was. So he just keeps like taking interviews saying like, the cops never looked into this and Richard Eberling's been a suspect the whole time, which I find hilarious because like that's what they complained about the first case. Like the media was too involved and ruined the fucking tainted the jury pool. And they're doing it again like 45 years later in defense of his dad, which is amazing, which is hilarious to me. Before being arrested for larceny, Eberling was a house cleaner / painter. He used to clean the Sheppard's house actually in 1954. He used to clean their window, and they found a bunch of blood drips around the house.
Window? Sorry, just one?
The windows.
Oh, okay. He used to clean their one window. Well, that gives
that
a little
window.
bit more
We all know the window.
context. Yeah.
But they took a bunch of like blood samples from the house and they got them tested with DNA years later. And one of them isn't matching. So they go to Richard Eberling. This guy must be the guy, take his blood. And the blood types match, but they couldn't get good DNA because the shitty like blood gathering they would have done in the 50s. Like they wouldn't have done it like we do now. They just do it with their fingernails and shit.
I thought you were just going to say the guy had shitty blood.
They couldn't get a good DNA match because his blood was to shit.
No, it's the blood they took from the original crime scene was just like scraped off with fingernails and shit. You know what I mean? It's not like taken the way it is now.
Gotcha.
So they found it's the same type as Richard Eberling. So when he goes and talks to him, Eberling's like, "Yeah, I did get cut there one time. When I was cleaning the windows, I cut myself." So like he admits to bleeding in the house.
I cut myself on his wife's spread legs.
Yeah. She had, what was it? Vaginas detentus or whatever
Dentata?
it is.
Dentata,
Dentata, yeah.
What's inside me? So that mixed with him having the 2 rings, this was a slam dunk for the Sheppard team. They think they're just going to go to court and get a bunch of money out of the case. They also, since they start this case, they get Sam Sheppard's body exhumed for DNA testing as well. After that, they cremate him. So he's all cremated. After DNA is taken and analyzed, Terry Gilbert starts to hit the media again. He's saying that the results from Sam Sheppard prove that there was another person, this guy, Richard Eberling. They make a documentary about the case in October 1999, right before the trial, with Terry Gilbert just making it sound like they could have found this guy years ago, but they never did it. So it was like super biased toward the Sheppard camp. Prosecution wants to take this case seriously. They don't want embarrassment. They order the exhumation of Marilyn's body so they can get it examined by today's standards too. Sheppard's, like Sam Jr., doesn't want his mom to be exhumed, but then they have to go through with it by court order. So she gets exhumed. Sam Jr. comes to the exhumation, which was a big secret at the time. They didn't want the media to go. But Sam Jr. at the exhumation starts making demands. So first of all, at the exhumation, at his mom's, like, she has a crypt, okay? Like it's a, whatever you call those things. He demands that a Buddhist Zen master be present at the tomb opening. Okay, this is my religious rights here. I'm a Buddhist, guys, which they grant, which is fair. And then the Buddhist Zen master is doing his thing, and they open the crypt to reveal the big bronze casket of Marilyn and the urn of Sam Sr.'s, because I guess Sam Jr. put his urn with his mom a few years earlier. Then they try to pull the casket, and as they slide it out, the bottom of the casket starts to fall out. Yeah, so they have to like catch Marilyn's bones before it falls out.
Oh, shit.
They secure that, bring it back to the morgue. They get all their samples. One thing they did notice about the body that was never disclosed to the Sheppard case that they say was that the unborn fetus had also been autopsied. They're saying that this is a cover-up because obviously, like, fucking somebody else, it's somebody else's kid. Nobody wanted to say anything. It wasn't Sam's kid. And you guys kept that from us. So Gilbert loved to tell that to the media. And then while the bodies are at the morgue, Chip makes another demand. He wants to have some alone time with his mom's body and the unborn fetus of his brother or sister, I guess.
Get the book.
Oh, I gotta get the book. No, I don't have. It's not the right book. I'm not prepared for this.
So Sam Jr., Chip, gets it. They grant it. They said you can spend time with your mom or whatever, but the coroner's got to be there just for the evidence side of that. We don't want you touching anything.
And also so we can make
We don't
sure
want you touching it.
Yeah. At the reburial, I don't know if you call it reburial when you put shit in a crypt, but it's a reburial. Sam makes one more demand. He wants that his father's ashes to be placed in the casket with his mother and unborn child so they could be together because they loved each other.
Yeah, but the bottom fell out, so it's not really secure. Anyway,
They fixed it or whatever. But
Yeah, that's the problem.
yeah. Why the fuck? Like, it's so weird. Why the fuck would you want that? Like, do you think your dad
It's like
wanted that?
Salt Bay your fucking murderer in with you. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. They grant it. They do it. They put
Oh my
his
God.
ashes in with the mom. In the eyes of the law, he's an innocent man. He didn't do it.
Richard, where the fuck is the mystery?
In the civil trial, the state is the defendant, so like they have to prove that his dad didn't commit the murder. Like the Sheppards have to prove that, so so they win.
Yeah, okay.
They don't at all. Cuyahoga prosecutor Mason tells the media they tried to settle with the Sheppard case, but they wanted $3.25 million to drop the lawsuit. So they said, fuck this, we're going to fight it in court. This case goes on for 12 weeks, 76 witnesses. Some witnesses, they just read their testimony from the past. So they redid their testimony. Hundreds of exhibits, 19 different experts. April 12th, 2000, the jury unanimously finds in favor of the state after just 3 hours of deliberation. So 12 weeks for them to go, yeah, your husband, like Sam Sheppard definitely did this. Sam Sheppard definitely, like, there's no way he didn't do this. Shut the fuck up, Chip. Go back to your hole.
Go back to your hole.
Gilbert and the Sheppards appeal the decision to the lawsuit. The 8th Ohio District Court of Appeals denies hearing the case. They claim that the case should never have made it to appeals because Sam Sheppard was dead and the statute of limitation passed on this. So he should be the one bringing this lawsuit up, and he's dead anyway. So shut the fuck up.
Very reasonable.
So the mystery is, here's the mystery. Did Sam Sheppard kill his wife?
Oh, get fucked! Get fucked!
Nice.
No.
Did I just
My
give you
balls?
Did I just give you blue balls?
Yes! They hurt so bad. And then
Yeah.
Mr. Getz, I'm sorry.
There's a couple little things that should probably be mentioned beyond this. I was going to go through theories, but
This better be so fucking good.
There's just like things that add to it. Like, did his brother help him? Yeah, obviously his brother fucking helped him for years. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Where did the mystery come from, Richard? Where did the mystery come from?
This is more of an unethical episode because if the media just shut the fuck up, this guy would have been in jail forever. You know what I mean? They would have got him. Like, come on. But they had to like push the police and do all that kind of stuff. So it is the media kind of fucked and let this guy go, right? That's the
and also like the judge and like the brother covering it all up. Like it's an absolute gross display of using power against the situation to make, because he should have got murder in the first degree, but then the judge is like, nah, fuck, I can't be bothered with this one. And so like put it in the second degree so he didn't have to worry about a death penalty.
The judge doesn't put it there. The jury voted him to get a second degree murder charge. The
Well,
judge
how did
has
he get
nothing. The judge just lays down judgment from the actual conviction of whatever they get. The jury picks. The jury picked second degree. And which it probably was. It probably wasn't first degree. He probably didn't sit there and plan this. He probably raged out one night 'cause she said like something fucked up because he was a guy like that.
Yeah. What? Yeah, I don't know. How did he get there? Like, obviously, bludgeoning her to death like that is, like, was he abusing her beforehand?
No, not
Is there
according
evidence
to
of that?
according to anybody. Not according to abusing, emotional abusing, let's say, not physically abusing. But like we could talk about all the evidence and stuff. Like I have a lot more, but there's really no point. It's like he's not wearing a shirt. You know what I mean? Like, where the fuck did your shirt go? Obviously, you took it off because you got covered in blood, dude. Like, we all know. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
There's a couple of cool things from the civil trial. They brought up an FBI guy, and this FBI guy takes out the manual for like murderers and like their personalities and traits, and he starts to read off like bludgeoned to death in the family home, called a friend to tell them that instead of the authorities, covered up because she was found like on her bed, splayed out. She had her breasts were exposed, but her pants were off. One pant was still on the other leg, but a blanket was covering her like pube area. And Sam said he did that. And this FBI guy was like, he was describing right from the book, like a scorned husband kills his wife. And they're like, oh, I'm not talking about Sam Sheppard at all. I'm talking about like, this is in our manual, a fucking husband that kills a wife. Like, this isn't like your case. This is just a lot of cases do this. So, like, this guy's super guilty. And the kid, like, my whole thing is like, Chip, just accept it, man. You're not Sam Sheppard. Well, I guess you are Sam Sheppard. You're not like that Sam Sheppard, though. Like, you're Chip. Just be Chip, dude.
But here's the thing. Like, I get him, like, wanting to, like, champion his dad. Because it sounds like, you know, aside from like killing his mom, his dad never did anything like truly horrible to get his son to lose faith in him, like steal his Game Boy
Killing his
times.
mom.
That is, I can tell you from firsthand experience, is enough to completely write off your father.
Yeah.
It's just like, I guess you're surrounded by an entire family that believes Sam too, and you're just kind of like,
no,
told that your whole life. I don't fucking know.
No one believes Sam. No one.
His brother.
No, they don't.
Well, they
just don't want
involved.
any mark on their family.
Yeah, they're involved. Yeah,
they're involved. So, like, that's my opinion. Like, for sure, Steven helped him. I don't know about Richard, like his other brother, but for sure, Steven like helped him whatever he needed to do that night.
See, here's what I think: his stupid whore wife wouldn't shut her mouth while he's trying to watch Strange Holiday, and she's like, "Oh, Sam, come fuck me." He's like, "Bitch, I'm trying to watch Strange Holiday," but she wouldn't stop, so he goes. And then he's like, "I really want to finish this movie," so he can't get it up, and she's like, "Why can't you get hard? Why are you being like this?" And then he's like, "Listen." Yep. And then he just beat the hell out of her with a syringe sterilizer.
Well, he can't get hard because of the X-ray machines, right? So maybe she was mad because he blew his load and it crawled out and up her arm,
and all the X-rays just came zooming out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're nuking the fetus. God damn it.
Yeah.
They surrounded her and threatened to cut an artery in her back.
Yeah.
I'll just kill you legally with surgery. So shut the fuck up.
Yeah, surgery and radiation.
Yeah. So I think they went to bang after they got really turned on by the
Strange
movie.
Holiday. Yeah.
Yeah. So they did that, and then they were doing it. She's pregnant with someone else's kid, and she's like, I need him to be able to actually have sex with me so that I can like make people think it's his kid. And then the radioactive super sperm crawled out and ran away up her leg, and she's like, this prick, like, how am I, like, our entire reputation is going to be absolutely destroyed because he can't actually just get his sperm to go in the right spot. So then she made him feel really insecure, and then he was like, he lost his temper. I reckon it's a little bit more nuanced than originally displayed to the public. I think it's a lot more nuanced, and it has to do with his radioactive crawling sperm. That's my opinion.
Radioactive super sperm is the only answer I'll accept from here on out.
Yeah, correct. Maybe the sperm did it. Maybe that was the blunt object. It could be very dense because of the radioactive.
Oh, yeah, because he picks it up by the tail and just, like, huck it. It's kind of almost like a sock.
Like a flail.
Like a flashlight.
Ooh.
Like a flashlight.
No, I can't think of any flashlight I've ever seen that you can swing on a chain.
Yeah, you never had those big, wet, squishy flashlights that you squeeze and
the
they call you dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that concludes the best eulogy ever told.
Please clap.
Rest
now.
in peace, Rick.
Imagine
in peace,
that was someone's eulogy. You just sat there and they did a whole true crime episode, like sitting there. You're like, can we go have like fucking sandwich squares downstairs? Like, I'd like some.
No.
Rick Getz is survived by his mother, his father, his brother, his grandmother. Oh no, we lost her in the middle. Okay, his grandfather.
I just watched Private Dicks, and I think RJ is the funniest.
What? Come on.